Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to pick number 5 of albums that are 50 years old in 2024 as we look back on the great year that was 1974. I picked out my 31 favorite albums released in that great year of music. Not an easy feat. Lots of really, really good albums. So many favorites. But I've had to whittle it down to 31. No real order. I'm not ranking these, so they're just kind of haphazard throughout the month. Today we've got a fantastic one, an album that it seems like I talk about all the time. This is the third album from this British band, released October 25th, 1974, recorded at Trident Studios, Ramport Studios, and Scorpio Sound Studios in London, England. Produced by Ken Scott and the band for A&M Records, and talking about Crime of the Century by Supertramp. Yes, yeah, it's just one of those albums that I feel like every couple of weeks or once a month or once every other month, Supertramp Crime of the Century comes up in some conversation here on the channel. That generally means it's a really great album for a reason, right? I mean, if it's something that just constantly comes up as one of the greats, whether we're talking about great productions, great songs, classic prog albums, classic third albums, classic albums from 1974, whatever it might be, this is kind of like the poster child for so many different topics and discussions here on the channel. It always comes up, and it's coming up again today. It's like when I got to this on my list, I'm like, oh, here we go again, talking about Crime of the Century. Love Crime of the Century, right? Of course, one of the many things that makes this band and this album so great is the interplay between the two main focuses of the band, right? You got Rick Davies, lead vocals, keyboards, harmonica. You got Roger Hodgson on vocals, guitar, piano. Right, those two guys, they're two totally different voices. They share the lead vocals on the album, sometimes in the same song, but you get that kind of yin and yang, that different flavor on every track, which is so great about all these early Supertramp albums. John Anthony Helliwell on all sorts of reeds, saxophone, clarinet, backing vocals, Dougie Thompson on bass guitar, and Bob Seibenberg on drums and percussion. You got some additional people here helping out on backing vocals. Christine Helliwell, Scott Gorham, Vicky Seibenberg. Ken Scott does a little percussion stuff in the studio as well, but mainly it's just the regular band on here. So what is on this album? Well, I'm glad you asked. 2 classic sides of vinyl, the original release, top to bottom. Every song on here is great. You get the amazing School, which starts it off. What I love about this period in Supertramp, actually Supertramp in general, but they have this way of kind of blending whimsical, very British kind of art rock or pop rock with some very dramatic progressive rock. Okay, with little jazzy inflections here and there. Just very, very enchanting music and very different. There's nobody that ever sounded like Supertramp. Bloody Well Right, that's right. You're bloody well right. Classic song. FM rock radio staple for years and years. One of the more rockin' tracks on here. Hide in Your Shell, terrific. The Great Asylum. Side 2 is Dreamer, right? There's that kind of playful pop song, right? Sung by Roger. Then Rudy, just terrific, arguably the greatest song on here, right? One of 2 or 3, top 2 or 3. Rudy's terrific. If everybody was listening, charming song. And then, of course, the title track, Crime of the Century. Holy moly. You talk about an amazing album closer that just puts a stamp on the whole album. That is Crime of the Century. That piano, holy cow. The whole second half of the song is so dramatic, so symphonic and cinematic. Just... what a great album. What a great album. I can't stress highly enough how much I love this album, how great it is. Charts. Australia, number 15. Canada, number 4. Dutch charts, number 25. Germany made it to number 5. New Zealand, number 12. UK album charts, number 4. US Billboard only made it to number 38. However, when it was reissued back in 2014, back on the Dutch charts at 83, France, 120, German charts, 86, and in Spain, number 21. We got a bunch of certifications too. Australia, gold, 20,000 units sold. Canada, diamond, 1 million copies sold. France, platinum, 400,000 units sold. Germany, gold, 250,000 units sold. New Zealand, platinum, 15,000. Switzerland, gold, 25,000. UK, gold, 100,000 units sold. And here in the United States, gold seller, 500,000 units sold, 500,000 copies sold. What do we got for singles here? So, Dreamer with Bloody Well Right on the flip side, on the B-side, was released November 1st, 1974. Dreamer's another song that perpetually has become a classic rock radio staple all these years later. You got a whole handful of Supertramp classics that have remained radio staples over the years. So yeah, love the cover. Everything about this is just absolute perfection. To me, it's one of the greatest sounding, greatest produced albums in rock history. Just love it. Sonically, just absolutely perfect. So let us know what you think of Crime of the Century down in the comments below. I saw a bunch of you already picked it on yesterday's video. I saw it down in the comments, saw it in the chat. Good to see. Everybody loves this album. How can you not pick this album? And list your pick for today. Pick number 5, my birthday. Interestingly enough, again, I didn't plan this. On my birthday, I'm talking about one of my favorite albums, my favorite Supertramp albums, on my birthday today. Yes, Mr. Pardo turns 58 today, born in 1966. So, speaking of that, seeing as we have no Friday morning at the Funhouse today, for this Friday the 5th. Like I said, I took off from most of the panel shows this week. I decided to do a little show that'll be appearing in just a little bit in the slot that normally Martin and I come in on Fridays. Going back and looking back at 1966 and reminiscing about some of the great albums that came out in 1966, which really was right around the time where albums starting to break big. We're starting to move away from just singles into the album era, right? So not a ton of favorites of mine from 1966, but I thought it would be nice to look back, go back 58 years and to take a look at 1966 here. So that's coming up in just a little bit. Stay tuned for that. Till then, visit us on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube all together all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already and click on that notification bell so you get alerted of all of our content as it posts. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Also down below, we got the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, our merch page, and our Cameo page. So thanks in advance for all your support there. And we'll see you soon here with more stuff. I'm Pete Pardo. Don't forget, 4 Fusion Friday, debut 2024 edition debuts tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Stay tuned for that as we kind of look back on Fusion 2023, list some of our favorite picks of last year, and then we'll be back on the regular topics going forward starting in February. So see you soon. Also, we got Ranking the Albums coming up this weekend. Simon Bray from the UK Connection and myself will be ranking the albums of the Johnny Van Zant Band for all you Southern rock lovers out there. So stay tuned for that and lots more. I am Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.